Lately, a popular claim made by atheists is that atheism is simply a lack of belief in God. So when a theist comes along and says that atheists can't support their worldview, some atheists will say something like, "We really don't have a worldview, we just lack a belief in God. Since we're not making any positive claims about the world, we don't have any burden of proof to support atheism. We just find the arguments for God to be lacking." Atheists are trying to redefine what their position is by reinventing what the word atheism means. As per the Merriam-Webster dictionary, atheist means believe that there is no God, as compared to agnosticism, which means a person who does not have a belief in God. What's lacking are good reasons to take their new definition seriously. If atheism is merely a lack of belief in God, then atheism is just a claim about the atheist's state of mind, not a claim about God's existence. The atheist is simply saying, "I'm not psychologically convinced that God exists." So what? That offers no evidence for or against God. If atheism is merely a lack of belief in God, then rocks, trees and dogs are all atheists, because they too lack a belief in God. A true atheist believes that there is no God. Frank Turek gives an analogy which I will use as well. Let's say two detectives arrive at the crime scene where someone was murdered, and after examining all the evidences, Detective 1 concludes Suspect C committed the crime. Detective 2 comes along and says, "I lack a belief in Suspect C as the killer." You see, before he dismisses the conclusion of Detective 1, he has to provide evidence against Suspect C as the killer. But the difference here is Detective 2 have not only a lack of belief in Suspect C, but a lack of belief in all suspects. Detective 2 must provide better evidences to dismiss the suspects. He cannot just claim he lacks a belief that any of the suspects did it. Most atheists don't merely lack a belief in God because they are constantly trying to explain the world by offering supposed alternatives to God. The atheists write book after book insisting that there is no God, because of the Big Bang, multiple universes and evolution. While none of those atheistic arguments succeed in providing there is no God, they do prove that atheists don't merely lack a belief in God. They believe in certain theories to explain reality without God. They believe in those theories because atheism is a worldview with beliefs just as much as theism is a worldview with beliefs. A worldview is a set of beliefs about the big questions in life, such as what is ultimate reality, who are we, what's the meaning of life, how should we live, what's our destiny, etc. To claim that atheism is not a worldview is like saying anarchy is not really a political position. As Bo Jin observes, an anarchist might say that he simply rejects politics. But he is still confronted with the inescapable problem of how human society is to organize itself, whether he likes the idea of someone being in charge or not. Likewise, atheists can't say they just reject God, but they are still confronted with the inescapable problem of how to explain ultimate reality. Just as anarchists affirm the positive beliefs that anarchy is the best way to organize society, atheists affirm the positive belief that atheistic materialism is the best way to explain ultimate reality. In other words, atheists don't lack a belief in materialism. They are not skeptical of materialism. They think it's true. As Philip Johnson said, he who is a skeptic in one set of beliefs is a true believer in another set of beliefs. Lacking a belief in God doesn't automatically establish materialism any more than lacking a belief in atheism automatically establishes Christianity. No atheist would say they're a Christian has made a good case because he lacks a belief in materialism. Everyone has the burden of proof to support his or her position. Atheists must make a positive case that only material things exist. The "I merely lack a belief in God" definition leads to a contradictory result. As Dr. Richard Howe points out, this definition of atheism entails the quirky conclusion that atheism is logically compatible with theism. Here's why. If lacking a belief in God is the definition of atheism, and not there is no God, then atheism is true even if God really exists, because it's only a state of their mind. A true atheist is someone who believes there is no God. And atheists have the burden of proof to show how materialism is true and reality can be explained without God. You see, the reason why some use this new definition is because taking a position in proving there is no God fails miserably every time. For the invisible things of Him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even His eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. In Romans 1:20. Thanks for watching, guys, and may you all have a blessed day.